All right, folks. What is Simulator 2? Again, can you believe it? Yeah, I'm just kind of hot into the game again. Like I said, I haven't played in a long time, and this game's always been, a bit cathartic for me. It's been a release. Anyone who eventually does pick up this game and plays it kind of realizes how zen it really is. And in this time, in this insanity that's going on in this world, zen is exactly what a lot of people need, and I am definitely one of them. So with that said, we picked our load for the next. Yep, our GPS is set. It is a fairly long trip from one end of Finland across the ferry, all the way across Sweden and into Norway. And hopefully, between here and there, we actually find a an Iveco dealership. Because we passed through one town, we passed close by another, we passed through this one, we may pass through that one as well. Looks like we go through this one, and we go through that one and end actually a little further out. But we are delivering 34 tons of empty pallet. That's a lot of pallets. Now our truck really is not set up for heavy load. We've got a 400 horsepower engine now. I've decided not to put on the 6x2 back because I feel it's kind of pointless. It helps distribute the load a little bit, but I lose a lot of fuel tank capacity in order to put that on there, and that's not really what I want to do. Lights on. Hey, you know what? You know what I want to do before I get started? I want to change the keys. I want my lights to be here, and I want my cruise control. I want to switch my lights and my cruise control because I just tend to put my lights on and leave them on day or night. Yeah, it's this way. So, but the main reason I decided to go with this will be our first tandem haul, which is two trailers. And despite it being 34 tons, um, we hauled that special cargo where we needed the escort, and that was like nearly 50 tons. I see the lights. If not over, you're turning. If not over 50 tons, I don't remember exactly how heavy it was. So, with 34 tons and our bad corner, it's okay. Um, with 34 tons and an engine that is 20 horsepower stronger, and we have more torque. I mean, it's not a huge jump, but every little bit helps. Like I said, we handled the 40 tons fairly easily. Oh, it's nighttime. Yeah, that's just gonna flash. It's not actually changing. Ow. Well, that's my fault. I was in the middle of the road though, so I don't know why he didn't stop. He should have. But it's 3% damage. Hell, I drove on 5% damage. And there's a chance we'll be able to repair at a garage somewhere along the way anyways, if I really want to. That does not count towards the haul itself, because that happened before the trailer was on. That's just my stupidity in my truck, which I kind of feel like I'm allowed to do. It is a little bit difficult playing with just a controller, trying to look left and right. Especially can't see all that well. But, again, I could set up VR. I don't want to because I got too many buttons I got to deal with. Maybe if I get a steering wheel at some point, I will. But, again, the Logitech steering wheel I want is expensive. This does not have... And I do not want to get hit by a train. Gimme. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're good enough. honestly good enough. We don't need any more than what we have to handle these two trailers. So we will be fine. And that is very poor backing up. I'm going to redo that a little bit and get better. I don't have realistic or enhanced or whatever they call it, uh, trailer docking. Just because I'm not that. Well, I think that actually would have been really good. So we take a quick look. And this is interesting, the way these tandems are set up. You see that center um, linkage. It's like the trail. It's like I'm carrying the majority of the weight of the front box, and just the back and the overhangs on that one axle, and then two axles for the front of the next trailer, which is a full-size trailer, and then three axles in the back. Whereas American trucks, it's two shorter trailers with a dolly in between that's attached to the rear trailer. So I think that's actually like really interesting. I don't see any trains coming. First gear to start. Yeah, I gotta remember them long corners in this thing. Let's see, we've got plenty of pull power. The only thing that might stump me is if I have to stop on a relatively steep hill. If I have to do that, that could be an issue. Dude, really? Where the hell did you come from? You stay there. Trying to put my... The issue isn't so much driving the trailers themselves, it's dealing with the AI. Because other cars would know as they see me starting to roll to stop and give me plenty of room to maneuver. The AI isn't always that smart and will block you. Oh, I see. And then in things like this where it's like I really got to try and go into the other lane. If there's a car there and there's like a pole, it's like it's a corner I'm not likely to make. And it'd be less my fault and more the AI's fault, which is one of the reasons I don't put AI mods, or not mods, but traffic mods, not AI mods, traffic mods. Because not AI mods would be to deal with the intelligence, and I don't know how well people program cars. Maybe good, maybe not. I have no idea. But there are mods out there, like the Jazzy Cat mods, one that not only add more variety to the vehicles that you see, but they also add more traffic in terms of total volume. And that can be, put that direction line way too soon. And that could be problematic, you know? Oh, Jesus. What the hell's that noise? It's the train. Yeah, but this run's going to take, it says 30 hours, but then we also got to do the ferry. It comes down to, can we reach the ferry before we need to rest? I don't know if this whole trip is going to be one episode. It might not. We'll see. What's that on the side of the road? You see that little black dot? Is that just like an out of place bush or a tree or it's a rock, I think. But we're gonna do the same as we did when we were hauling the the special load, and that is we're going to just run the RPMs up a little bit higher. Not that one. We're just going to run the RPMs up higher. Up into the 2000s. That gives us a higher run up the gears. Hopefully we can just get up to speed. I'm going to take it even a little bit slower. You know, I was going 110. I may go like 105 or even 100. Um, just to keep things a little bit more stable, just given the size of what I'm towing. I mean, this is not a small run. This is like driving a short bed or a short trailer with a long trailer attached. That's really exactly what it is. It's a short trailer with a long trailer attached, more or less. But I really feel like we've got plenty of power to pull this, just as long as I don't stop on any steep uphills. Should be fine. Minor uphills and full level ground, and obviously downhill should be just fine. I may pause the game to occasionally take a drink. I just finished eating supper a little while ago. I ate part of a buffalo chicken calzone. For once, I really did. I mean, I'm full and I do feel it a bit, but I haven't like eaten so much that my stomach hurts and then I'm actually feeling sick, which is one thing I've been doing lately. I will say before I get into any other subject that I have medical insurance that will be starting up in January, and one of the first things I'm going to do is see my doctor, and I am going to get a referral to the Boston Medical Center, which is where my insurance is based, and I'm getting a revision on my sleeve to help me lose weight more. Or I may, after I need to talk with a specialist about it first. I may have it converted to a full bypass. And the reasoning behind that is a full bypass, you cannot eat sugar in any way, shape, or form. So, like, I can't have donuts, I can't have cake, I can't have, ice cream, and I can't have even low-fat yogurts. I have to have like non-fat yogurts. I think is okay. Maybe even just like vanilla or plain yogurt. I don't know what I'd be able to eat and what I wouldn't be able to eat for sure. So I'd really want to sit down and talk with the doctor, but I think it would help keep me on a more straight and narrow path and help me continue to lose weight, not struggle. Tomorrow I should be going to pick up a nice sized treadmill finally, and hopefully it's as good as the person says, and I can get on that treadmill at least 3 to 5 days a week and walk on it. I'll need to rebuild up my stamina. I'm not going to be able to get back on that and do 45 minutes again. But, I can start maybe, even if I just get on 5 minutes a day to start, and then 10 minutes, and then 15, and then, work it up every few days or every week. Just work myself back up to it. I mean, I'll probably start with more than 5 minutes. I'll just see how long I feel I can go. And then that'll be my target for that week. And then the next week after that, I'll add 5 minutes. The next week after that, I'll add 5 minutes. Until I get up to at least 45, I honestly want to get to at least an hour. And if the treadmill's all I have, I may even push for more, an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, I really don't know for sure right now. Well, will we get that? Probably not. No, no. I might have to go off the beaten path for that if I want to get it. But I don't even know if I'll see what it is. Oh, and it's on the upper bridge too, so it's not going to matter. I couldn't get there anyways. Oh, that's a shame, man. Watch that be in that Vecco dealership. I got no way of finding out, which is probably the better thing. Because if it was a Vecco, I would definitely go for it. Huh, I should probably be over here, huh? Didn't realize it turned that quickly. But we're still good. I wonder if this has like that tail whip effect. I probably shouldn't be trying to find out, huh? So it's just reaching 9 o'clock right now. It feels much, much later, honestly. Alright, let's lock it in at 100. 100 feels nice and smooth. Doesn't feel like we're struggling. Hopefully we can keep an eye on our GPS so that we know for sure if there are any big curves coming up. Is there anything ahead that we need to fear? But yeah, I'm starting to fight back against my weight again, and I'm really hoping to make a turn on it. I know I can do it. I just really got to make it happen. Um, but anyways, one of the big things I've gotten back into now that I realize I can see it regularly being whenever it happens is sumo. You may have heard of me talk about this before in one of my vlogs, but I love sumo. I don't know all the sumo wrestlers, but I definitely know my favorites. There's little Enho, which is the smallest sumo wrestler in sumo right now. He's like 98, 97 kilos. He's 5 foot something. I think 5'9", maybe 5'7", or maybe 5'7", 5'8". Um, Unfortunately, he's going to be going back to Jurio, which is the second rank, after making a very impressive time in Makuchi. I think it's Makuchi. Makuchi. Yeah, it's Makuchi, I think. Into rank one, into the top rank. Unfortunately, he suffered a string of losses, including his most recent this past November, where he lost in double-digit numbers, which means he lost 10 or more bouts. I think he lost like 11 or 12. He really struggled. Um, and then there's the opposite end of that, which is the giant Ichinojo. He is like 6'7". He's 440 pounds. He used to be 500 pounds. He'd been having a lot of back issues. Sorry, I need to taste my ear. He's having a lot of back issues. He went down to Jurio recently, and he just made his return to the top division. And it looked like, okay, yeah, we need to slow down. It looked like he was going to end up back in Jurio, as he went 3-7 to start. He only won 3 matches and he lost 7 of his first 10 matches. Now, why is that important? Well, because if you lose 8 matches, you're what's known as Makikoshi. And what Makikoshi means is you've lost more matches than you can win. There's a total of 15 bouts. If you win 8 matches or more, you're Kachikoshi, which means you likely will get promoted. At the very worst, you'll hold the rank that you're at. If you're Makikoshi, you lose 8 bouts or more. You're likely to be demoted. You could hold your rank. It depends on how other people did around you overall. And he was in the very last spot on the Banzuke. That's the rankings chart for sumo. And Um, Again, I'm gonna miss another question mark. That really sucks. Again, uh, he was in the very last spot. He was Maegashira, which is the rank and file of the top rank. Um, he's Maegashira 17, which means that if he lost 8 bouts, he would be demoted. But there's something about Ichinojo is that as soon as he gets his seventh loss, he wakes up. I mean, one of his nicknames is literally Snorlax because it just seems like he doesn't try, like he's bored, he doesn't care, and all of a sudden he's ready to, he's at the point where he's going to lose, and he just starts destroying everybody around him that comes up against him, and he fights like a demon possessed if he ends up in trouble. And so there are a lot of people that tend to be frustrated because he has the skill. It's not just his size. He has the skill as well. But it just doesn't seem like he uses it. He could be so much better than where he's been and what he's been doing. And so a lot of people tend to be very frustrated with him. There's also Kaisei. Um, Kaisei is Brazilian, and he is he's the gentlest giant. He's like the same height, maybe even taller than Ichinojo. I don't think he's quite as heavy. He definitely wasn't when Ichinojo was 500 pounds. But dude, I really kind of need to get over into your lane. Could you just let me? I'm just gonna slowly. Oh, never mind. I'm going this way. My bad. Sorry. This game is trying to get me to stop on a hill. I just went like nothing would come from the other direction. It's rather hilarious. But I call Kaisei the gentlest of giants, not just a gentle giant, the gentlest of giants. And why is that? Well, it really comes down to the fact that Kaisei is like the only Sekitori. Um, oh yeah, we made the ferry without an issue. He's the only Sekitori, the only Rikishi sumo wrestler that will do just enough to win. Like he doesn't like push you so hard that he tries to knock you off the dohyo. Um, he really does fight to win, but he does it in such a way like he does everything he can to protect you once he's won. He doesn't try and knock you off the dohyo. He doesn't try to. That's a little high on the RPM there. He does, he'll try and hold you from. He'll try and keep you from falling. I mean, he really just tries to protect you from getting hurt. And he's the only one that I've really seen go as far as he does. Only one place to go. That's good. Grab a quick drink while we cross the channel. Stop the time from running. Okay. And now we're like completely freshly rested. But we could use a gas station, petrol station, diesel station, because we are well, actually we could still go over 1,000 kilometers, so we don't actually need a Fart. Hey, I only read it. I didn't spell it. But this is one of the reasons I really like Kaisei. He's just really gentle and he really like protects the other guy he's up against. I think he's very aware of his size. And a lot of people get hurt falling off that dohyo. It's these are big guys, and as a somebody who is a big guy who is a lot bigger, I know it hurts a lot more to fall when you're even bigger than the average person. But that's beside the point. Um, Tochinoshin is somebody that my heart kind of breaks for. He's Georgian. He's the last Georgian sumo wrestling right now. The very spherical Gagamaru has finally retired after sitting out for a straight year. Nobody know why he sat out for so long before he retired. There was speculation that he was trying to get his citizenship for Japan, but whatever the case may be, he's retired. Um, the other Georgian, who was known as Baruto, who was also a giant and a very powerful, much like Toshinoshin, a very power-centered sumo wrestler. Um, he retired a while back, leaving Tochinoshin as the last of the Georgians, much like the Hawaiians, I guess. The Hawaiians, they started with Jesse, but you stay there. You stay there. The Hawaiians started with Jesse, but they really didn't gain in popularity until you got to Konishiki, and Konishiki made Ozeki. Then you had Akibono, who became the first foreign-born Yokozuna, and then Musashi Maru, who was also a Hawaiian Yokozuna. But after Musashi Maru, there was no more Hawaiians in sumo, or none that made any kind of impact on anything. And the same is kind of happening to the Georgians. I'm not sure how high Baruto made it. I don't think he made Ozeki. I think he only went as high as Sekiwaki, which is the third highest rank in sumo. I know you're probably getting very confused with a lot of things I say, but just try to understand what as best you can. I don't expect you to understand unless you know sumo. But maybe you can piece together what I'm saying from what I'm saying. Yeah. Um, but anyways, but Toshinoshin actually made Ozeki the second highest rank. Unfortunately, no sooner did he make Ozeki than a knee his right knee, I believe it is, has been injured for a very long time, and he made it up to Ozeki, and then that knee just started taking over again, and Tochinoshin is a very again power centered um, sumo wrestler. He's what they call, I believe, a Yoshi fighter, which means he likes to grab on the belt, he likes to lift, he likes to push. He incorporates a few throws, but nothing major. But well, with a bad knee, he can't enact what became dubbed as his sky crane. He was best known for picking people, completely up off the ground and carrying them out. He was that powerful. Pound for pound, he's probably the most powerful in terms of just raw strength in sumo. He's lifted Ichinojo up when Ichinojo was 500 pounds. He didn't lift him up, carry him out of the ring, but he did lift him up off his feet. And, you know, that's impressive to say the least. I don't know what you're doing, but you do it over there. We will need a rest before we get to the end. That is for sure. But technically, we should be able to make it on the fuel that we have. We can go No, we can't. We go 935 kilometers, and it's dropping quickly, and we got 995 kilometers. So we're chewing through fuel pretty quickly. We need a fuel station soon. Let's take a look at the map and see if there's any ahead of us, or if we'll have to like get off the. No, go away. Yeah, right here. Good fuel stations right there. That's well within our distance, so we should be fine. We should be fine. Our lights are on, right? Oh, that's cruise control. Don't matter. Yes, they are. Okay. Of course, I could have found out just by doing that, I think. I really don't want to attempt to pass with this much weight, so I'm going to have to suffer if we get on single roads behind trucks. Um, this is just way too much weight for my truck to attempt passing other trucks. But yeah, I really like Toshinoshin because I love that style of fighting. Just big, chest to chest, grab the belt, and try and outmuscle the other guy. If I was a sumo wrestler, that's probably how I'd want to fight. So unfortunately, Toshinoshin, his knee, as soon as he made Ozeki, he struggled. He went Kadoban, which means he didn't get 8 wins, and Ozeki, who doesn't get 8 wins, go Kadoban, which means he must get 8 wins in the next tournament, or he gets demoted to Sekiwake. He went Kadoban. He got his 8 wins. He didn't get 8 wins, so he went Kadoban again. Then he didn't get 8 wins, and you get demoted to Sekiwake, but then you get put on kind of like a super ultra double secret standard that a lot of people call Ozekiwaki, which means if you get 10 wins in the next tournament, you get instantly promoted back up to Ozeki. To give you a little bit of inside information, in order to make Ozeki, the very basic standard for becoming an Ozeki is to get 33 wins over 3 tournaments. That is averaging 11 wins per tournament out of 15 per day. Now, that doesn't mean you have to get 11, 11, 11. You just scared me. You could get 13 and 10 and 10. Or you could get 9, 14, and 10. As long as you got 33 wins. Now, there have been Ozeki that have been promoted with 32 wins. A current Ozeki actually got promoted with 32 wins. It's Asanoyama, but he also won a tournament in doing so, and there was only one Ozeki at the time, and the need for an Ozeki was pressing, so they forewent the 33rd win and promoted Asanoyama, who was very consistent in getting 8 wins or more, to Ozeki. Um, oh, I'm way up in speed again. I'm not way up, but I'm too much anyways. I gotta let it cruise down a little bit. Again, I want to stay in the 100 with this much weight on this truck right now. So Asanoyama got promoted to Ozeki, but I was going Tochinoshin. He got his 10 wins, got re-promoted back to Ozeki, instantly went Kadoban again, did not get 8 wins while he was Kadoban, which meant he was demoted back to Ozeki Waki and did not get 10 wins, and so completely lost his Ozeki rank. And now he's rated, he was in the mid Maegashira. Now he's in the upper Maegashira for this coming tournament. I believe he's going to be Maegashira 4. The chances of him ever being an Ozeki again are pretty much nil unless his knee miraculously heals. So here is our fuel station that we actually really need. God. It's going to be quite a bit of fuel we're going to throw in here at $1.50 per liter. So Tochinoshin is another one of my favorites. Takakeisho, who's very short for a sumo wrestler at 5'9", but he's also 420 pounds. He's got a very unique build. And only 1,500 euros. All right. And he's an Oshi sumo wrestler, which means he pushes and he thrusts, but he has a very unique technique that he uses. It's been described as kind of like a wave motion sumo. Instead of pushing and thrusting left, right. Interesting, he did that, but okay. You know, so instead of thrusting like this, he throws his whole body behind it and he pushes. And then he stands and he watches. And, you know, when the opponent comes in, he comes forward again, he pushes. So he, like, throws his entire being behind each of his pushes. And kind of like in a wave action. And interesting enough, Takakeisho went 13-2 and won the last Yusho in a playoff with Teruno Fuji. Teruno Fuji was 13-2. And at the time, Takakeisho was 13-1. He had a playoff with Teruno Fuji. Teruno Fuji beat him, which meant they were both tied. Oh no, Teruno Fuji was 12-2, and Takakeisho was 13-1. 13-1. So Teruno Fuji went to 13-2. Takakeisho dropped to 13-2. They had to have a playoff match, which they have a few minutes after the match they're in. And so I really need to move over. I'm kind of like stunned. I'm passing these guys rolling uphill with this trailer. But Takakeisho won that match, giving him a 13-2 score. Oh, I thought the game crashed. I was going to freak. They gave him a 13-2 score, plus he won the Yusho. And so now, if he gets another good score, possibly 12-3, if he goes like 12-3, or even better, another 13-2, or 14-1, or heaven forbid, he gets a Zen Yusho, which is 15 wins and no losses. And if he wins the title, definitely if he wins the title again, if he wins the championship. But if he gets what's known as a Jun Yusho, which he comes runner-up in the Yusho with a really good score, he could be promoted. He will actually have a claim, a possible claim for the big white rope belt, which is the Yokozuna belt. He could be promoted to Yokozuna, but it is not guaranteed. He could be chosen not to be promoted to Yokozuna. Can you let me through, please? Thank you. Yokozuna does not have, well, like Ozeki. Ozeki's not a definite promotion. There's a council that deliberates if you get Ozeki or not, depending on what you've done and depending on the situation. There, you know, and there's another council, I don't know if it's the same one, that deliberates if you make Yokozuna, and making Yokozuna is obviously a lot stricter. Because once you make Yokozuna, you are required to get a minimum of 10 wins per tournament. And if you cannot consistently get 10 wins per tournament, otherwise known as the Yokozuna Kashikoshi, then you're forced to retire. There's no demotion for you. You're forced to retire. So being a Yokozuna can both be a blessing and a curse, all things dependent. So I know I'm talking about a lot of people. Um, I have kind of a dark horse favorite, and he's a guy who recently went 14-1, which he will never repeat. Um, but he was the first person to win the tournament from last place, from the 17th position, going 14-1 in like 80 years, something like that. His name is Tokushoyu. And I really like him because he's like everything you consider a big. He's just like this big, jolly, heavy set guy. You know, he's very happy and he's very positive and buoyant. And it was refreshing to see him win because you get the people, especially like Hakuho, Kakaru, and people who had won titles before, people who've competed at high places before, and so you kind of got these repetitive, stale interviews with kind of the same lines and the same things said over and over and over again. When Talk Shoyu came, it was like genuine, from the heart. There was no practice. There was no pre-prepared stuff. And he actually cracked a joke and he laughed and he smiled. And when he won, he actually teared up on the dohyo and seeing that emotion. It was just a feel good moment. And I got more into watching him and paying attention to him. I got more into his career, and I really got a soft spot in my heart for him. He's like the one guy, like sumo is sumo stables, sumo wrestlers, and whatnot are dependent a lot on donations and contributions from fans, otherwise known as supporters. And a lot of these supporters can be like shop owners and businesses and whatnot like that. And Tokushoyu's that guy who I would I would support. I'd be a supporter of Tokushoyu if I could. He may not be the best, but he's definitely he's a genuine guy who he's just one of those guys who's like make you feel good. He's like one of those people that you trust to be around. He's that stereotypical big guy that you'd like go and hang out with, and you'd have a good time and laugh and maybe even pour your heart out to, and he would sit there and listen to you. I'm not saying that's how he actually is. I do believe he's a good guy. He's a very jolly and friendly guy. I'm not saying he's a guy that'll sit there and listen to you though, but he makes you feel like he would, just the way he is. So, um, he's somebody I would support in Tokushoyu. Um, and this January, we are actually looking to have a very, very brutal. Do not like corners. We're looking to have. I need a drink because I'm talking so much. We are looking to have a very, very brutal um, January tournament. I don't drink. I mean, I have been up until recently. I don't drink soda too much, and I always drink diet. This is the one thing I kind of do correctly. I shouldn't be drinking soda at all, but when I do, it's always diet soda. I don't drink regular soda anymore. I haven't for a very long time. It's the one thing I've been able to stick with. Hi. But, um, excuse me. So I shoot from the hip. Um, what was I trying to say? Oh yeah, our Sanyaku ranks. Sanyaku are the top ranks in sumo. Sanyaku is Yokozuna, which are the grand champions, Ozeki, which is the second highest rank, Sekiwaki, which is the third highest rank, and Komusubi, which is the fourth highest rank. So Komusubi is the lowest of the Sanyaku, Sekiwaki, Ozeki, and Yokozuna. And the reason we are looking to have uh, quite the knockdown, drag out battle in the Sanyaku ranks, I always do that. I should probably switch those because I keep doing that. Is because our Yokozuna, Kakeru, who has won 6 championships in his career, which would be really impressive. But sadly, Kakeru is kind of that other Yokozuna. Unfortunately, he's like a Yokozuna at the most unfortunate time, and I'll go into that in just a second as to why. Um, but he's been having a lot of issues lately. He's pulled out of a lot of tournaments. And so is the other Yokozuna. Between the two of them, I think the two of them have been in 3 full tournaments in the past 9, and there's only 6 tournaments a year. So they've pulled out of like an entire year's worth of tournaments out of the last year and a half. So that's quite a lot. But beside that, this is. I'm gonna take it down even a little bit slower. But even beside that, a lot of people think the main reason he even hasn't retired yet is because Kakeru is trying to get his Japanese citizenship. He's submitted all the papers to renounce his Mongolian citizenship. Why is like every other? That was weird. But he renounced his Mongolian citizenship, and he's applied. Wrong year. He's applied for Japanese citizenship. But because he doesn't have a Japanese wife, he has a Mongolian wife, it's taking forever. It's been 3 years already to get naturalized. Now, why is this important? Well, unfortunately, sumo has some very archaic rules. And one of them is that in order to be a coach in sumo, in order to have any job in sumo beyond um, beyond being in sumo, is first you have to reach at least Division 2, I believe you have to at least reach Juryo, and you have to be a Japanese citizen. And because Kakeru is Mongolian, if he were to retire right now, he would not get sumo elder stock, and he would not be allowed any jobs in sumo, particularly to be on any councils, or more specifically, what Kakeru wants, to be a stable master, to be a coach. So he does not want to retire until he gets his elder stock. He may not have a choice. He's got to do good in January. He has to get at least 10 wins in January, or the Sumo Deliberation Council may recommend he retire. When you get hit with that recommendation, it's the beginning of the end. You're going to retire. You can defy it, but more and more pressure will be put on you. I don't know if you can be forced to retire, but that's actually a really good question. Um, you probably can't. Oh, I see that hill. I see you, hill. I see you. Actually, we should not shift gears right now. Again, as long as we keep momentum, this is not the time to lag on me, game. Get the hazards on. All right, we're not stopping. We've actually broken the gate and we're accelerating again. Game, this is not the time to lag on me. I think we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. That was a pretty good. I'm glad we weren't hauling very much heavier, or this could have been an issue. Do without the hazards now. place to. Wow. How? Wait, 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 wait. Before we go any further, um, we have a rest spot here. Our next rest spot will be here. Okay. That's quite a ways in between. Oh, great. We're going to start toll booths. Son of a. We got trip time, 8 hours, 50 minutes. You know, I think I'm going to play it safe. I still get 4 hours. Yeah, you know, all right. He's going to have to go. I can probably make it to the next gas station. Famous last words. I definitely need to rest soon. But anyways, as I was saying, so yeah, Kakeru's in a really bad spot, so he has to do really well. Also warned by the Yokozuna Deliberation Council was Hakuho. Hakuho is the greatest Yokozuna to ever live, and that's not fanboy, by the numbers. He has, I think, 46 or 47 championships. He has the second longest undefeated streak in sumo, twice. He came very, very close to defeating the longest undefeated winning streak ever. Um, he holds every major record in sumo, titles, wins, Zen Yushos, which is Yushos where he never lost at all. By the numbers, he's the greatest Yokozuna to ever live, bar none. Which is why when you're Kakeru with 6 championships and you're being compared to a guy who has 45, 46, 40, I think he has 47 championships, and he has all these records and he's gone undefeated. He's the Dai Yokozuna. You really just kind of known as the other Yokozuna. But Hakuho has been pulling out a lot lately. He, much like Kakeru, same thing. He's pulled out of at least 9 of the. Yeah, I am going this way. He's pulled out of 9 of the last. Oh, no, he's pulled out of 6 of the last 9. Basho. So he's 2's received a warning, and he will need to get at least 10 wins as a Yokozuna in order to not get a warning. Which for Hakuho, unless he gets injured, or unless he already is injured going in, he should be able to do that without too much trouble. He really should. Okay, I know I went the right way, so there's no way I didn't go the right way. But yeah, we've got 2 Yokozuna that have to get at least 10 wins if they don't want to retire. The main reason given that Hakuho, don't lag on me. The main reason given that Hakuho doesn't want to retire is he wants to do his what's known as Dohyo-ri, that is his ring entering ceremony at the Olympics. Now, if you were to believe what he said, that he was going to retire in 2020, because the Olympics were supposed to take place in 2020, he'd get to do his Dohyo-ri, and then he would retire. this is gonna suck. I have to go all the way around this. I think I screwed up somewhere because I don't think this was part of the deal. Um, but of course, the Olympics were canceled because of COVID. So Hakuho kind of said, "Oh, my retirement was just a joke," and he said he shifted his goals, and I want to get 50 championships, and even 50. There's arguments whether he was joking or if he was serious about retirement. I think he was serious about retiring. I think Hakuho knows he's like getting to that point where he's starting to struggle, where injuries are more common. Uh, where injuries are more common for him, where he's having to struggle more. And I think he wants to go out dominant and not struggling. So um, I think he did want to retire at the end of this year, maybe do his dohyori at the Olympics, and then fight in the last tournaments up through November, and then retire. But with the Olympics canceled, well, he obviously couldn't do that. So the Olympics are supposed to happen this coming year, no matter what. Actually, I think we can rest at the toll booth. There may be a resting point at the toll booth. It's possible. They usually do. Unless it's not a big toll booth. Then they usually don't. Huh. Looks like I can just drive through this side. Yep. So I don't have to stop. That's awesome. We're really going to start needing a rest soon. Oh. I had to. So anyways, Hakuho is a naturalized Japanese citizen now, and it was very quick for him because he actually has a Japanese wife. So that really sped up the process for him. This is where I like wonder if I could just go straight across and not hit some kind of like hitbox. Starting to wonder the wisdom of my decision. Usually when I'm like really thinking I should rest here just because, it'll give me plenty of time to make it all the way the rest of the way. Yep. And then I said, no, I'll go to the next one. I don't know when the day is going to come that I'm going to learn. Go with my gut instinct. I'm going to do something I shouldn't hear. You didn't see that. Oh, and we didn't even take out the sign. You didn't see that. No, you didn't see that. No, no, nothing. I totally did not go the wrong way on a roundabout. Cutting off a fraction of a sec, cutting off a second or two. I totally didn't do that because I looked and said, I should really rest here so I don't get tired. No, I can make the next rest point. Nah, I'll be fine. Yeah. No traffic. All right, there's traffic coming, but they're way down, so we can easily just keep momentum in this corner. use what little bit of hill we have to get us up to a little bit more speed. Yes, I know, I need a rest. Shut up. I am going as fast as I can. How far are we? There's another toll there. And then we got to go all the way. Really? Son of a... I'm just wondering if this is closer. Than this? No. Uh. I wish it would tell you how far that one is, you know? 124 kilometers to checkpoint. 73 kilometers. This is 408 kilometers, 7 hours, 72 minutes. And by going this way, it's 448. So it's a little bit longer in hours, but the rest stop is closer. Unfortunately, I'll miss the towns down here. So the question is, can I go 124 kilometers in an hour and 8 minutes? And the answer is maybe. Right, we're going for it. But we really need as much momentum. Oops, I did not mean to do that. We really need as much momentum as we can possibly pour on here. I've got. Hopefully, I'll deal with another automated toll booth where I can just like drive through. I think the game is like lagging a little bit because just the size of this recording. I should have paused stopped the recording. The rest spot would have been a great place to stop and stop recording. That's really what I used to do, and that's probably what I'll do again after this. When I get to the point of needing a rest, and when I hit a rest spot, that rest spot will be where I stop the video. And then we'll pick up from that rest spot onto the next. I know. It looks like there are automated toll booths. Yeah, well, you know. Really can't afford to slow down right now. So what I should have done is I should have stopped at that rest stop back there and then ended the video there and then picked up from there to the destination. So now I'm really in the can and we're going to have to push in order to make our next rest stop. Very much like an American trucker driving too far and too hard. Where are we now? We're not far. We got to go here around these big corners, around this tight corner, and then it's not far. And this is trusting that gas station has a rest point on it. I'm on a slight incline. I'm losing speed. Try 11th gear and hope that I can hold momentum better. Still losing speed, but not quite as quickly. believe this is the... Oh, I don't know if this is the big corner or not. Or that may be it up there. I know! Stop reminding me so much! Oh, and of course the hill's getting steeper. Hopefully this means there's a downhill on the other side and I can at least catch some momentum. Well, of course there's going to be a downhill on the other side. What am I going to do? Go infinitely uphill? Yeah, I just needed to deliver this to Mars. But I need to be careful on this downhill that I don't gain so much speed that I lose control. Because we are close. We are very, very close. But this is a extended... Alright, yeah, I'm gonna lose it if I'm not careful. And then I gotta go through that sharp corner up there. I may end up getting fined for not resting soon enough. That may just end up becoming a thing. Oh, and of course this is an uphill ramp. So why wouldn't it be? Yes, I know. I'm working on the... I need to watch that back trailer. Oh, come on, traffic. Go. Go, 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 go. We're almost there. We might make it. I almost fucked that up. I almost didn't see this. All right, yeah. We got 140 for the sleep violation, 180 for speeding. All right, that is what it is. But the important part is I made it. I made it without going to sleep. So I didn't pass out. Which is something that can happen. So we paid a little bit for driving a little bit too long. Paid a little bit more for speeding. Ultimately, no, it wasn't worth it. We should have stopped because we could have avoided losing that altogether back at the other one. Now, because we're only 322 kilometers away, I'm going to finish the run. This will be just one long video, but from this video onward, however many I do, hello. Okay. If I can make it around you all right, I should be able to. Oh, come on. What did I hit? Oh. That is one sturdy-ass sign, man. That is one sturdy-ass sign. Not the time to lag on me, game. So that was 2% to the trailer, 4% to my truck. But I think the 4%... Oh, it's direction. I think the 4% is on top, is driving on top of the damage that I did to go get this. The 2% to the trailer really shouldn't impact us at all in terms of our reward, so we should be fine. Again, I'm getting back into the feel of things still. Especially, you know, these are all new trailers. I've never done a double before. This is is double in this game. And I am towing it with an underpowered truck. So underpowered, under-equipped. But it's definitely just like me to do something like this, you know. To take on a challenging load that's too big for what I'm driving. You know, yes, my truck can handle it. No, it doesn't mean it should be handling it. I just have a feeling those pauses are going to happen as like the game loads the next area. This is going to be one hell of a video to upload. It's going to be a huge file. It's going to take a long time to upload. It's going to be an overnight upload for sure. I'll probably upload one more video today. I've already uploaded one. I may upload another one. Again, looks like we have an automated, so I can just go through that rather than having to stop. More toll booths need to be like that one, so I don't have to fully stop in order to pay. I also don't know where in the world a truck with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 axles would only pay 10 euros to get through a toll, but whatever, because usually it's by the axle, and each axle is like somewhere around, well, in America it's like 10 bucks, or even if it's like 2 bucks per axle. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you know. That'd be like 16, 20 bucks. Math is not my strong suit, never was, never will be. Hello, speed camera. I don't think I have to worry about you. I've barely gotten out of 11th gear. Although I was going 10 kilometers per hour over the speed limit, the car speed limit even, which is 70. I'm going to have to slow down. It's because we got some S-curves here. Still, this job's going to pay really, really well. And it'll cover the loan nicely and give us a little bit more of a boost. And we should be coming up on those couple of towns that we go through, so hopefully we can, find an Iveco dealership. I gotta rub my eye. It's kind of difficult when you know, one hand controls the head, the other controls the steering, and you gotta itch your eye, and the one that controls the head is also the throttle. Although I suppose it'd be better if I came off the throttle to tend to my eye rather than coming off the steering wheel, yeah? This is a hard corner. Not a good time to do that game. Not a good time at all. It's a little disconcerting when the game hitches like that. And I'm pretty sure it has to do with mods and loading the next area. And I am running this on very high, on the absolute highest settings that it has. And that I'm recording, and that file's a huge damn file right now. Without a doubt. Another toll booth. Well, at least these are automated, so I can just cruise right through. You know? Letting my truck slowly cruise over the line here. I'll take the very inside. Very much like Massachusetts and cruising through the toll gates. Now, as I talked about last time, I could cruise through. I cruised all the way through every toll from Franklin, Massachusetts to Verdi, Minnesota, without having to stop because of my Easy Pass. It was accepted all the way up through. Anyways, I was talking sumo. I don't have a lot of time left. So anyways, yes, Hakuho and Kakaru are both need 10 wins, or they will likely end up. It's happening a little more often now. Or they will likely end up with a retirement recommendation, which will basically be the beginning of the end for their career, most likely. Also, two of our Ozeki, Asanoyama and Shodai, are Kadoban. This is Asanoyama's first Kadoban. He was injured. I believe it may have been his shoulder in the last tournament. I don't see, sadly, I don't see a question mark in this town. And this is a town. I should slow down. Why did you come to a dead stop if you're turning? So I mean about the idiotic traffic? There's the loan, but it's fine. We're about to make some good money very soon. Yeah, there's a garage here, but there's no question marks. So that's out. Maybe the next town. Oh, come on with the speed. I'm going 54. Still 54. Oh, come on, light. Please. Have a heart. Have a heart. You're gonna change us. Yeah, as soon as I come to a stop. That's when. Yeah. But, anyways, so the question will be: is Asanoyama healthy enough to get 8 wins to keep his Ozeki rank? Also, Shodai, who is the Shin Ozeki. Shodai was a very impressive sumo wrestler coming up. A little bit late in his career, in his 30s. Actually, I think he is exactly 30 years old. Which is a bit old for sumo. Believe it or not, a lot of sumo wrestlers retire between the ages of 30 and 35. But he made Ozeki, having turned in 3 great scores and won the September Yusho, I believe with like a 12-3 score. Unfortunately, in his first return as an Ozeki in November, he was injured very early on and had to pull out, which meant he's Kadoban, and he's Kadoban in his very first outing as an Ozeki, which is never good because that's a lot of pressure to be on come January, especially when you're considering that you're up against another Kadoban Ozeki who's been Ozeki longer than you have, and 2 Yokozuna who must get 10 wins. But again, that's not all. As I said, I think I said before, Takakeisho is looking for strong numbers. Likely, he'll need a minimum of 12 wins with a Junyusho, meaning runner-up, in order to contend for the big white belt. So, you have 2 Yokozuna, 2 Ozeki that need wins in order to hold their ranks. You have another Ozeki who's looking for a lot of wins to hopefully get promoted to Yokozuna. And Terano Fuji, who has made a Cinderella story comeback, including winning a Yusho from last place, the second man to do it in a very short duration of time, considering it hadn't been done for, around 100 years. Um, who skyrocketed up the Banzuke to take Komusubi, and then at Komusubi level, he was fighting for the Yusho again. He ended up losing to Takakeisho, as I mentioned. So, yeah, whenever I stop to think like that, I literally hold my breath. One of these days, I'm gonna pass out doing it. I'm just gonna clip the edge there. Um, but with a 12-3 Junyusho, he is now trying to make an Ozeki bid. Um, let's see if he went 9, 12, 9 is 21. If he is it 21? 12, 9, 4 is, yeah. If he gets a minimum, I think, of 10 wins, he may actually qualify for Ozeki. And they may give it to him, but they may make him go another tournament in order to qualify for it. But either way, he's looking to put up big numbers to make an Ozeki push and return to his Ozeki rank after falling all the way down to Division 5, which is a huge fall. And the only time somebody of a rank of something like Ozeki fell that far down the Banzuke and made a return, that is massive that he's pulled that off. It's like I just pulled something in my neck. That was an awfully weird feeling. Please stop doing that. Actually, I need to. Going downhill, so we should gain momentum. But yeah, the Sanyaku ranks are going to be battling it out hardcore. You know, how will Asanoyama do? Is he recovered enough from his injury? Will he be able to get his minimum of 8 wins? Asanoyama is known to be good for 10 wins usually. Will our Shinozeki, who has been known to have problems under pressure, Shodai, be feeling that pressure and still be injured and not get his wins? Will Takakeisho make a good enough push to be considered for the Yokozuna belt? Will the Yokozuna each get 10 wins, or will they be forced to pull out again? I doubt neither one will pull out unless they drop uh, five. Unless they drop 5 matches or more, I doubt we'll see the Yokozuna drop out at all. So, Hakuho, as long as he stays healthy, should be easily 10 wins. Should be easily 10 wins. So, with all that said, and then you've got all the mid-Maegashira stuff. You got a lot of young, hungry Rikishi coming up. And you still got some old veterans in there that are very dangerous still. And Sumo, anything can happen, So there's a lot that could happen there. Oh. Honestly, I almost want to turn that off. But I won't. I won't. I should probably keep it around. If I kept it around 90 back here, if the speed is 70, I may not get hit for speed. I know I'm losing a fair bit, but not nearly as bad as last time. I haven't gotten to an accident. That sign was not my fault. That was a very sturdy sign. It's off the track. question marks. I've not been able to get this, and that is likely a recruitment agency though, so it's not terrible. So yeah, there'll be a lot going on. The next turn is going to be very, very, very exciting. I gotta be honest, I very much obviously respect and admire Hakuho for as great as he is, but I'm kind of happy when he pulls out of a tournament, and I'll be happy overall when he retires. I'll be sad, but I'll also be happy because Sumo is a lot more interesting when he's not there. You know, when you can't predict by day 5 or 6 who's gonna win. You know, and everyone's fighting for second place. You know, so to me, Sumo's a lot more interesting when he's not around, and that's been proven. You know, without Hakuho in there fighting continuously, we've had Tokushoyu win, we've had Teruno Fuji win, Shodai's won, Asanoyama won, and Takakeisho won, is now making a bid for Yokozuna. Versus when Hakuho was there, and Hakuho won, and Hakuho won, and Hakuho. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's one of those things. It's like I really don't think I can avoid that. So I'll be sad to see him go. It'll be depressing because a lot of his matches can be exciting, and to see some of the stuff he does is absolutely amazing. But again, on the other hand, I think sumo overall is much more enjoyable and exciting when he's not there kicking everybody around like, nobody's business. Yes, I think this is my first double trip. Did I do a doubles before this? I don't think so. And all things given, we are just going to skip the parking. So base reward 36,000 plus 4,200 plus 8,700 plus another 1,000. We got 50,000. And did we make level 9? Yes, we did. So we max out long distance haul, which means we can deliver anywhere. And 30% higher rewards for deliveries on distances longer than 1,500 kilometers. Now with this done, we can start getting our ADR. And then from ADR, we do fuel economy. Then from fuel economy, we start increasing those. All right, I need the map because I need a garage. You know what? All right, fine. Let's do it this way. Let's go there and then there. This won't take long. Oh, we got upgrades. What do we get for upgrades? Scania. New tires again. We will probably look into them. Mirrors we will likely change. And then that's it. Okay. Hello? What the blaze in hell is this? That was odd. But game times, sorry, take nothing to get to. So you can just hang on with me while I get repaired, unlock that question mark. This thing's already, this video's already really long. What's another 5 minutes at this point, you know? And after we rest, we can pick our next cargo. Really? Don't see this again. Totally not doing this. I know, I'm sorry. It's where my mindset is right now. And it's a bad mindset. No, the one thing that's going to really hurt me on this is the repair. I mean, it won't be that bad to repair the truck, but it's still going to be... I can make it through this. It's still going to be a bigger hit than it needs to be. It should only be a 1% repair, not a 4% repair. Yes, sadly, it is another recruitment agency, which blows. Still have not found an RI Iveco dealership. At this point, I may just get a couple Renos. Service the truck. Oh, $2,000's not bad. That's not a bad hit at all. Configure. We've got new tires to look at, which are better on fuel. Yeah, this definitely needs to happen. The tires need to be put on, and that includes both sides. Not going to bother with this yet because this is just cosmetic. We want our painted mirrors rather than black so that they match. I think we can afford a bull bar now at the very least. And I like this bull bar. I like the little square lights. What are the others? And we can actually put a bottom bar on as well. Oh, actually, that should go here. Yes. That should go there. Yes. Actually, we can do the turned up. That. Oops, like that. these front ones, I can just do these, keep them white. No, not that, that. Let me just click on that so we get a look. Yeah. And yes, this is spending 16,000 of our money, but it's honestly fine. We've got it at this point. Let's use it. I don't think we have a shade on the truck. I think we accidentally took our shade off. We're gonna go with the cheap shade, like that. How much to add the skirts? Oh, we can't yet. Not for this version. Alright. I guess we're good. So that's our updated truck now. After our next delivery, depending on what it is, we may even go for an extended cab, depending on how much money we make. Break. Get our rest. Now let's see what our next freight's gonna be. Here. Another tandem, 21 tons, 56,000. Oops. Please stop that. So that's another ferry distance, but it's not that big a ferry distance. Can you not? And that goes through one town that we've already been through, but then it passes these towns, goes into this town, and then here, and that's up in Finland. We came from Finland, but we came from over here in Finland. This is only 14,000. This is a short trip. Ooh, but this is a special delivery. High value cargo. But it's only 14,000. And here's another one. These tires. It's another super heavy delivery. And I'm all about, money right now. And 29,000? You see, we're starting to get some more unique offers in terms of our deliveries now because we can go anywhere. We can go as far as we want. 56,000 at 41.29. I mean, that's almost impossible to pass up. I just really like these because they're these special deliveries, but do I really want to sacrifice this kind of money? What does this mean? Oh, articulated trailer. Okay, that's all it means. No, I don't. I know that means going back along a lot of the same path I just took, which is really in itself a detriment. But nothing compares to that price. Well, 58,000 at 3 tons. But that's half the rate. That's half the rate of this one. Because again, ultimately we came from like up here. So we went like here into this town. So we know these two towns already. We passed these two. So the only new town we would get is this one. This is 29,000. But the only new town is this one. We go around that town and around that one and into a town we've already been in. I mean, that could be the other thing. Just take a short trip to here. Something like this for like 7,000. And yeah, just take a short trip to here for like 7,000. because that's only 145 kilometers, 174 plus the ferry, and then pick up in here. 'Cause I just don't like where this is going right now, at least. Eventually, I'll have to go back that way, but I just came from there. I don't want to go back there so soon. So I think this is what we're going to do. We're going to take this, the fresh fish, the 29 tons, on this short trip to here, and then we'll see what we get in here because because we're going to come right off a ferry and deliver, we're going to be fully rested. So we won't have to rest. So we'll be able to immediately pick up another trailer and go from there. That's what we're going to do. We'll take the short trip. Yes, we're fine. Thank you. All right, folks. I apologize as this has been an insanely long video. I kind of forgot how I used to do things until it happened that I need to, when I hit a rest stop, I need to stop the video so it doesn't get too long. So starting next one, like I'll do the short trip, pick up the next trailer and go. And if it's a long trip that needs a rest stop, when I get to that rest stop, I stop. It'll help limit the length of the video. But other than that, folks, I'm done. And this is going to be one big Bugga. I hope you've enjoyed my sumo rambling. Until next time, let's see you then.